Xiaomi.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, our Xiaomi fans, media colleagues, guests and partners. A very warm welcome from the house of Xiaomi. Wishing you all a very happy new year. We all gather here today to unveil some very exciting products. You can share your updates from your social media handles using the hashtag SuperNote or Redmi Note 13. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Request you all to please settle down. We'll start shortly.
Hello? I'll join the meeting in an hour.
Next power, I'm about to go bigger and better. If I ever lose, set it on faster than ever. If I ever lose, set it on bigger and better. Hitting roller coaster can bigger, bolder, faster. Ooh, I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm bigger, bolder, faster. Ooh, I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. I'm going to the maximum. Just let it go. I can let it go. Just let it go. I can let it go. You think I'm too much because I'm too much. Don't you gotta go? Cause I gotta go. Let it drive on full power. Never hit the brakes. No comma.
Call me on my Redmi Watch 3 Active.
Xiaomi.
Hello?
From the house of Xiaomi, wishing you all a very happy new year. The launch will begin in 10 minutes. Please take your seats and we request that you turn off your phones or keep it in silent mode.
Super warm welcome to the super launch of the Super Note, introducing the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus.
The launch will begin now. Please take your seats and we request that you turn off your phones and keep it in silent mode. Thank you.
कंटेस्टेंट्स की लाइफलाइन बन के आ रहा है एक ब्रांड न्यू फोन।
श्वेता बंसल जी को वीडियो कॉल लगाया जाए।
You just asked her to wonder. Yeah.
Is the right answer, well done.
पर हुआ इस रेवोल्यूशनरी डिवाइस का लॉन्च।
Hello, salam, namaste, vanakkam, sat sri akal. Welcome. Welcome, dear partners, our friends from the media. Welcome, Team Xiaomi. And welcome to our dearest Xiaomi fans. A warm welcome to 2024. Now, we have some exciting things to unveil this afternoon for all of you present in this hall, but there'll probably be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people watching the live stream online, and we have something for you too. Hello, all you people on the live stream. We have a superpower giveaway. The hashtags for this event are hashtag Redmi Note 13 and hashtag SuperNote. So stay tuned till the very end of the launch, and we have a mega superpower giveaway of 13, yes, you heard that right, 13 SuperNotes to give away. So stay tuned until the very end of the launch. All right, so before I get started, why don't we do a quick look back on the super year that 2023 has been. And we started this year, 2023, with a bunch of clearly laid out focus areas and priorities. We said we'd want to go with a streamlined portfolio, and that's a feedback that we got from partners, friends in the media, Xiaomi fans saying, yeah, too many products in the Xiaomi portfolio, it's confusing. And we said, sure, we hear you. We streamlined our portfolio, made it cleaner, meaner, sleeker. One killer proposition in every price point, and boy, did that work for us. It worked super well for us. The second focus area that we took up was to democratize 5G. We realized that India is at the cusp of yet another revolution, and Xiaomi made sure it had the right products at the right place, at the right time, at the right price to capitalize on that opportunity and truly make 5G mainstream. We also ensured that we build on our strengths in the online channel with strong capability building in the retail channels, and together synergize them into an all-powerful omni-channel experience. And last but not the least, perhaps the most important, is that we always had that razor sharp on continuously moving the needle in providing each one of you and the millions of users of Xiaomi phones, TVs, and other AIT products out there a much better, worry-free, hassle-free, delightful customer experience. And what a year this has turned out to be. We couldn't be happier at how wonderful the outcome has been. And a big, big thanks to all of our partners and all Xiaomi fans out there for making this such a wonderful year. And so many interesting milestones to talk about. For example, the Redmi Note 12 became the fastest selling Android phones to get to the 1 million number in 2023. Thank you. The Redmi 12 5G that we launched in this very location on the 1st of August last year, what a success it became. The largest selling smartphone in Q3 of 2023, the Redmi 12 5G. And we said we need to push the boundaries of democratizing 5G, and then we launched the Redmi 13C 5G, 300,000, 3 lakh units in just the first sale, and it just launched a month ago in December. What a fantastic outcome. And we haven't ended there. The Xiaomi Pad 6, the premium Android tablet offering from us, one of the best sellers on Amazon for the entire year. All put together, a fantastic year when we truly delivered to the goal and vision of 5G for everyone. But 2024 is a whole new year, new hopes, new aspirations, new opportunities, and new milestones to be set. But 2024 is special in another way. 2024 marks the 10th year of our entry in India. Thank you. People, we are 10 years young in 2024, and we are flushed with pride with what we have accomplished together, delivering to that purpose of innovation for everyone and fostering that digital revolution. Think back to that time in 2014 when we launched the Redmi Note 4G, the first 4G device priced below 10,000. The Redmi Note 3, the first VoLTE device, and so many other success stories, Redmi 5A, Redmi 6A, Redmi Note 5 Pro, Redmi Note 8, Redmi Note 10 Pro, and the list is long. We pioneered impactful features such as a large battery, faster charging, AMOLED displays in the mid-range, best-in-class camera features, and much, much more. And we did not stop with just phones. Remember how we pioneered the smart TV revolution in India and also made smart home AIoT products commonplace in this country. Xiaomi's impact on India's social and digital fabric is undeniable, and we are so proud of what we have accomplished. But looking ahead, if one were to look at the arc of how technology evolves and develops, we see three distinct eras in the past and the future. Number one, if you were to look at the 3G era, we'd call it the age of connectivity. Pretty much for all of us, most of us, this is the first time we got access to a phone. We could make a phone call. We could send SMS messages. That was just the era of connectivity. That's the foundational layer. And then came the era of 4G, where a lot of things that we take for granted today give us convenience. Did you imagine 10 years ago that you would shop online on your phone? Well, maybe yes. Did you imagine that you can hail a cab, you can call a cab on the phone? Did you imagine that you could order food or groceries on the phone? And did you imagine that you could make seamless, simple, convenient digital payments on your phone? Today, a lot of these things that we think are indispensable have been powered by this age of convenience, the 4G era, which we are so proud to have played a critical role in catalyzing the 4G revolution in India. But now, with the advent of 5G, with the advent of artificial intelligence, we stand at the cusp of what we believe is a magical new era. And this is the era of convergence, where various devices come together to make your life better, to make your life smarter. And Xiaomi wants to be at the heart of this and pioneer it with our focus and our strategy of human times car times home, which is going to be the focal aspect of our strategy. And this weaves together multiple devices, smartphones, wearables, smart electric vehicles, smart home devices, all of these coming together in a seamless manner to elevate the quality of your lifestyle. But the one thing that is going to distinguish all of this is all of these are going to be deeply intertwined together with Xiaomi's Hyper OS. Now, HyperOS is at the center of all of this, weaving the experience together. And it is a human-centric system, keeping you at the center, designed for this human times car times home ecosystem to deliver a complete and holistic experience supported by artificial intelligence. And when we set out designing this entire solution, we had 4 goals in mind. Number 1, we needed to have an operating system that works across a plethora, a spectrum of devices, starting from a router, which has got its own limitations of memory, RAM, processing capability, to more complicated devices such as tablets and smartphones, to super complicated devices such as smart electric vehicles. So we re-architected and refactored the underlying architecture to enable us to deliver significantly better performance across the entire spectrum of devices. Number 2, we said this is about human, car, home. These are about multiple devices. Now, in the older age, perhaps the interconnectivity was not foundational. It was maybe a hacky solution. But we said, let's have a new, brand new interconnectivity framework which is built keeping not just current, but future demands in mind. Number 3, given the advent of AI in pretty much everything around us, we said, let's introduce intelligence at the core of this entire nervous system that operates this human times car times home ecosystem. And last but not the least, the 4th, but perhaps amongst the most important goals, is that we have designed this with you, your data privacy, and the security of your data as paramount to this entire solution, and that is the Xiaomi Hyper OS. Thank you. Now, what does all of this mean for us at Xiaomi India? In 2023, as a matter of business focus and goal, we set out this bold new statement saying this is what we want to be. We want to be India's most loved and trusted smartphone times AIoT brand. But as we enter 2024, we said the Indian economy is super strong. It is the fastest growing large economy in the world. And perhaps the next decade is India's decade, it's India's decade. There is growing aspiration and there is growing upward mobility amongst the entire populace. And so we said, why don't we set out maybe a 3-year goal, a 3-year vision? And that vision is to be the aspirational Indians' most preferred and pioneering smartphone times AIoT brand. Xiaomi India wants to be the aspirational Indians' most preferred and pioneering smartphone times AIoT brand. Thank you. What does this mean for us in 2024? This is a great statement. But to build a good business, you need to break this up into a roadmap and year-wise strategies and priorities and focus areas. And like at all good companies, we have that too. In 2024, there are 3 key pillars to our strategy. Number 1, end-to-end premiumization. And what do we mean by premiumization? Like I said, We're addressing the needs of aspirational India, the aspirational Indian, where people are focused on upward mobility. Everybody wants more to step up and get better from their lives. And we want to cater to the needs of this aspirational Indian, not just in the premium price point. For us, premiumization is not just about launching an expensive device, a flagship device, and saying, hey, look, I'm premium. But for us, it is about taking every step of the value chain and figuring out how can you make that better in terms of what it means to the customer. And that means premiumization of product design, premiumization of product features, premiumization of the hardware and software experience, premiumization of the packaging, premiumization of the retail experience, premiumization of the online shopping delivery experience, of customer support, of after sales, everything, and across all price points, we are embarking on a journey of end-to-end premiumization, including that of the brand, end-to-end premiumization of the entire holistic Xiaomi experience. That's number one. Number two, and this is perhaps something that Xiaomi is uniquely positioned to deliver to, which is an integrated, and the key term here is integrated, smartphone times AIoT approach. And there are 300 million, approximately 300 million households in India. And our grand dream, our vision, you could call it, is can we deliver 5G for everyone, 4K televisions for everyone, and a smart home for everyone. 5G for everyone, 4K for everyone, smart home for everyone, all of this woven together seamlessly with the Xiaomi Hyper OS, the integrated smartphone times AIoT approach. Number three is a synergized, again, the key term here is a synergized omni-channel approach, where we build on the capabilities and strengths of both of our channels, online and offline retail, building on foundational elements, the enablers, but most importantly, build that differentiator by synergizing all channels with the omni-channel strategy. And that forms the key pillar of what we want to focus on in 2024. And all of this translates into a very simple mantra that we will follow in 2024, which is innovation times experience to the power of more. And the power of more comes from delivering to the strategy consistently, month after month, day after day, product after product, and do this consistently. And if there is one product series that exemplifies what innovation times experience to the power of more would mean, you need to look no further than the Super Note series, the Redmi Note 13 5G series. And to talk more about it, my privilege and pleasure to call on stage the Chief Marketing Officer of Xiaomi India, Anuj Sharma.
All right. A very warm welcome to all of you guys. We are super excited to have all of you guys here. Our friends from the media, our partners who've made 2023 possible, and of course, the Xiaomi fans. Right? Now, we guys are super excited about today. There are a lot of things that we'll talk about, but before I get into that, like Murli said, this hasn't been a landmark year. This is a landmark year for Xiaomi India, but it's also been a landmark year for Redmi overall. Because Redmi, in fact, has been providing innovation for everyone. It has been a torchbearer for the entire industry for the last 10 years. We've just finished 10 years of Redmi worldwide, and in those 10 years, we have managed to sell 1 billion devices. So in fact, if all of us Redmi users got together, we'd be the third largest country in the world. Now, why did that happen? Why are 1 billion devices out there? And I think the answer is quite simple. We have been pushing innovation in the Redmi segments every single time. Let me take an example of the Note series. Now, we all obviously love the Note. It all started off in 2014 when we got the Redmi Note 4G. It actually started off the Digital India movement. It got 4G for everyone. But from there, we actually moved on. We were the first ones to bring in Snapdragon 650, 636, and of course, our favorite 625. It redefined what you could expect in the mid-segment when it came to performance. We didn't stop there. In 2019, we completely flipped the camera game. We brought in a Redmi Note 7 Pro, which had a 48 megapixel camera. It completely changed the industry once more. What did we do after that? We continued innovating. In 2021, we brought in high refresh rate AMOLED displays with the Note, again, completely changing stuff. In 22, we brought in fast charging to the Note. Last year, and this is something that I'm going to be extremely honest, last year, we had a huge toss-up. Note had always been a 20,000 rupee product. Do we kind of keep those specs and try and hit that price point, or do we really innovate? Do we take that leap of faith and try and do something remarkable? And that's what we tried to do last year. Around the same time, it was again a cold morning in Delhi, with the Note 12 series launch. So this was about 364 days ago. The pricing went up, right? It went up all the way from 20,000 to 30,000 rupees. The Note 12 Pro Plus was 30,000 rupees. We didn't know what to expect, but we knew that we were giving a damn good product. Well, a year later, I'm very happy to share that the product has been super successful. We have, in fact, over the last 364 days, been selling more than 250 notes every single hour. So day, night, all counted in. It has been a resounding success, which also made us think that all these years, the Note series has always brought in premium specs to this segment. We have redefined, like we just saw, cameras, charging, even the displays. But what can we do to take it up? Now, Murli spoke about really elevating that experience, getting you a premium experience. So from premium specs, today, we're going to start off with bringing in a premium experience to all our Note fans in India. And that obviously starts with the hero of the day, which is the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Now, super power, super Note. And when I'm talking about experience, I'm going to answer 5 key questions, right? Does it look premium? Is it premium enough that it holds its value and is a worry-free device to use for the years to come? Does it give you a better visual experience? Does it keep you away from the socket for a longer time? Let you kind of be on your own, give you that freedom? And of course, the 5th one is, how does it balance performance with all of these things? So that's what I'm going to define, but I know some people are still looking for that spec call out. So for the spec fans, I am going to be talking about 5 specs that we've never seen coming into this segment. So watch out for that, but I'm going to talk largely about experience. And we're going to start off with the first one, which completely kind of redefines what Note has done. We've never really started off with design, but today we're going to do that. So super powered design. And this is an all-new philosophy that we are bringing in. In fact, when I'm talking about design, it is called Fusion Design. It's an all-new design which has 3 elements to it. One is, how do we take different colors, the colors of the season, and fuse that together to give you a beautiful-looking device? The second one is, while it looks really good, does it match the aesthetics with the right engineering? Does it have the right ergonomics? And I'll talk about that. And of course, the second part I said about premiumization was it needs to be really, really durable. So does it match that durability? A year in, 2 years in, 3 years in, are you going to be happy with this particular device? So all of these 3 things coming in together, color fusion, aesthetics that meet engineering, and obviously durability inside out. So let me talk about the color fusion part of it because this was super hard to achieve. Now the fusion purple, now this is, so let me talk about the color fusion part of it because this was super hard to achieve. The first color to be introduced is, of course, now the fusion purple, now this is a very interesting color. It's using a color block trend that's coming in from the leading fashion houses. It's a combination of very pastel colors, so it doesn't really look garish, but all of it works really well together. But while we wanted to do this, it was really hard to achieve because all of this is printed on a vegan leather back, right? And now, if anyone has seen vegan leather, getting different colors in for each device and then doing this millions and millions of times over and over again is extremely hard. So for that, we're actually using a special ink technology. So we've got this special nanoscale ink technology which ensures that it prints right, does not wear off. The second aspect of it obviously is the perfect alignment. To ensure that was happening, each Note 13 Pro Plus actually goes through 46 different acceptance tests so that when you are taking the best looking device in your hand, it always looks its part. Now, this is obviously the Fusion Purple, but then there are people like me. Now, I love my blacks, right? And we've also tried to do this fusion color in black. So it's a dual tone pattern that comes in, making it look really classy. And not just a black, we're also extending it to a fusion white. So, in a nutshell, you've got 3 amazing colors and 2 different finishes. You've got fusion white, fusion black, and of course, the fusion purple, all 3 incredible looking devices. Now that's the looks, but if you start looking closer, this is also designed and engineered really well. So this is where aesthetics meet engineering. Now the back is perfectly curved, and it curves in to meet the side frame, which actually is flat, so that you're not losing that grip when you're holding it. Now, it's actually a dual curvature, and we'll talk a bit more about this, but the dual curvature is also symmetrical, which is really hard to achieve, and we were able to do that with the Note 13 Pro Plus. And when we're looking at color blocks, we were also looking at that symmetry coming in. So if you see, one block actually houses the cameras, while the second block, you've got a flash. A flash is a thing that most phone manufacturers ignore, but we've actually used it really well. It looks very cool. And of course, the third block captures the brand itself, which is Redmi. So all of that works really well together to bring in perfect symmetry. And of course, the curvature makes it really good to hold in your hand, giving you this hand feel that I don't think any other device, and definitely even our Notes have not been able to achieve till date. Now, while we've covered it is a great looking device and it has been built really well, the next part is about durability. Does it really stand the tests of your daily life? And for that, because we were bringing in this kind of a curvature, we decided to go with the absolute best. So for the first time ever in this segment, we are introducing Corning's Gorilla Glass Victus. Nobody's ever done that before. But you know what? It's not just the drops that you have on solid ground. You can drop it in different materials or liquids. So for that, we're also introducing something for the first time on a Note. Take a look. So IP68 protection on the Note for the very, very first time. And both from a durability perspective and obviously water resistance, we've done hundreds and hundreds of lab tests. We, in fact, even did live tests with trying to drop the phone from the pocket height. We tried to drop the phone from, when you're taking a call from the ear height. We've done various splash tests. Our team went, put coffee, liquids, cola, but that's something that you expect. And Somehow the Xiaomi team seems to be fan of Western movies. I don't know where that came in from. And it also happens that my favorite game happens to be Red Dead Redemption. So we decided to do a little fun durability test that we've never done before. I'm sure you guys would love it. Take a look. This is the RDR remake we've been waiting for. So that's obviously taking care of all the durability. Here's a fun fact. We didn't know how much we could push it, but we kept doing it. Each paintball that leaves that gun travels at more than 300 kilometers an hour. So he was able to take multiple hits from that. The 5 shots that I landed, I got lucky. Most of them I missed. But we were actually equally surprised it could do that. So that's where the durability comes in. Of course, it's built really well, it looks good, and it's super durable. Now, let me move on to the next aspect of it. Right? Does it help you with your media consumption? Does it help you with providing a great display? And for that display, here's another aspect that we've been noticing. It was probably 2015, 2016, when phones in this segment first started adopting full high definition displays, right? So non-flagship, you had full HD displays coming in, I think about late 2015. From there, it's been more than 8 years, and we continue to see full high definition displays even today. Of course, things have changed, right? So the aspect ratio moved up. We went from a 16:9 to 18:9, now a 20:9. Refresh rates came in. You have a 120 hertz refresh rate now. You have AMOLED displays coming in, but the resolution never changed. Well, till today, because for the first time ever in this segment, we're also bringing in a 1.5K display. So sharpest visuals ever on a Redmi Note, but just having a high resolution display wasn't enough for us, because we're also bringing in the brightest display in this segment. At 1800 nits, it's actually a flagship level display. To compare, right, the flagship that we have currently, which I absolutely love, is the Xiaomi 13 Pro. The Xiaomi 13 Pro reaches a display brightness of 1900 nits, and the Note now does 1800. We are this close to a proper flagship. And with that, we're obviously taking it even further, because we are curving that display. So for the first time, again, a 3D curved display. And the reason why we did not do curved displays till now is because we didn't have the right protection. But now, with Corning Victus, we are sure that you guys can use it without any worries. So all of that coming in, we've also, for good measure, put in an in-display fingerprint sensor that all of you guys wanted. But this is not an ordinary fingerprint display. Because it's an IP68 certified phone, we also have a display, a sensor that actually can handle a wet touch as well. So you don't have to worry if your fingers are wet, if the phone is wet, you can just continue working on the phone. So that's a couple of things, but the display has a lot going for it. It's a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with, of course, a 120 Hz adaptive sync, right? It's a HDR10 Plus display, which has more than 68 billion colors, again, unmatched in the segment.
all set to
But not just that, right? You saw how bright it was. Of course, it supports Dolby Vision. Of course, it supports Dolby Atmos, because you've also got dual stereo speakers to go with it. And for the music lovers, we've taken care of that with high-res audio. So that's giving you an amazing visual quality that you've not seen in the segment, and of course, coming first into the Note. But let's move on to the next aspect, which is something that we started revolutionizing in 2019, and that is the cameras. Now, for the cameras, right, instead of me talking all about it, we have somebody who is an industry expert. We are lucky to have him with us. And let me call upon Sandeep on the stage. All right. Now, since 2019, since the Redmi Note 7, we have been redefining what imaging has been when it comes to this segment. In fact, a lot of people consider the Redmi Note series to be the best imaging smartphone in the segment. Or, if I could probably put it as the GOAT, right? So the Note has always been the GOAT when it comes to smartphone photography. And what better way to show how much of a GOAT the Note is rather than focusing on a GOAT itself.
So Anuj loves his puns, and I think you're going to love this photo as well. This photo basically showcases how good the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus cameras are. Now, we have a huge sensor, we have a very bright aperture, and what this allows us to do is take photos with a very fast shutter speed and freeze your subjects or objects perfectly still. So here the goat is basically grazing, and it's difficult to quite capture animals without any movement, but thanks to that fast shutter speed, we're able to do just that. And in fact, if you zoom in closer, every single strand of hair, every detail is impeccably captured on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Now, while we are always in pursuit of this wonderful detail, and we always want to have the sharpest and best looking images for social media, one thing that often we get carried away with is actually the color science. Now, while Anuj was doing the entire pun of Note Goat, what else is next? Boat, right? So we have this image to showcase just how good the color science is and how we have been able to perfectly capture true to life colors on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. So if you look at the foreground here, you have beautiful red, yellow, orange, a vibrant burst of colors. But at the back, you have a cool blue with the iceberg as well as the glacier. Now, it's very difficult to actually separate these because they are completely opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to the colors. But we have managed to do that with the Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. And in fact, if you zoom in closer, you'll see that the waves are actually crashing, and it's managed to capture that perfectly still as well, thanks to the fast shutter speed, like I mentioned earlier. And even the gravel and all the details on the boats are also exquisitely captured as well. Now, we all love to take portraits. I perhaps take a lot of photos on a daily basis, and I'm sure you guys also love to do. Documenting, and our team does, is that when we travel to places, in terms of the color science, and fast shutter is also mimicked on the ultra wide angle camera, and we have an amazing macro camera to also go along with this. Now, like Anuj mentioned, since 2019, we have sort of been setting new standards, new benchmarks, going way above and beyond this price segment in terms of ensuring great performance with the cameras. And I think we always love to see where we stand vis-a-vis the competition, and we have a fun comparison for you guys as well. Here's a scenario that we captured that you would encounter maybe on your typical day, and this was taken in Bangalore. If you look at this image, it's pretty good actually. Optically, there's nothing to falter here. But if you notice, the foreground is quite dark, right? And if you look at the next phone, This does a better job. You have much better dynamic range. But even then, the color science is not all that great, because if you look at certain portions where it's supposed to be a bit yellowish, especially on the tree in the bottom portion, it's actually still boosting it to be a green. And here is what we have been able to do with our Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. So, yeah. So first off, it's a much better exposed image. Rather than just metering for the center, it's an overall average metering, which makes the image itself absolutely wonderful. And if you look at the color science also, especially that tree in the bottom mid portion, it's actually coming out as being a bit yellowish, showing character, showing the actual colors of the age of the tree, rather than making all of them just look green. But this is a look at images at a glance. What if you actually want to, pixel peep? We all love to do that. Take a photo, just zoom in and see how good the images are. So we have another scenario to showcase the same thing for you guys. S23 Ultra, again, pretty good image. And I think the next image kind of goes back and forth in some ways. One is too contrasty, and the colors are very muted. And here again, while even the photo at a glance looks much better, I want to divert your attention to the details. Actually, the more impressive part is just coming, but glad to see you guys already like it, right? If you look here, there's a guy sitting there underneath the shade, and in spite of having a 200 megapixel camera, there's hardly any detail. It's very blotchy, there's a watercolor effect happening, and in fact, the iPhone does a better job with its 48 megapixel sensor. But because of the high contrast and it's crushing the shadows, you're not really seeing all that much detail. How do you think we did on the Redmi, right? Should be similar? Should be a mix of both? Actually, we did way better. This is what we got on the Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Incredible, incredible detail and great dynamic range. And this is made possible thanks to
a unique collaboration between 3 teams. So actually 3 teams had to come together. Of course, the Redmi team, and we brought in the algorithm, but we've also worked closely with the Samsung sensor team. And along with that, the Mediatek team also worked on their ISP, creating a unique Imagic 765. So all of this comes together to give you those images that actually can go head-to-head against a flagship. In fact, if I could probably say that, this is the first true 200 megapixel camera around. And with that 200 megapixel, obviously you get a versatility and the ability to shoot amazing images that you're seeing that we couldn't even talk about in today's show.
And the innovation for the camera does not end there. I know we have been hearing a lot of feedback from you guys to improve our videography capabilities, and I think we did just that. But instead of just talking about it and saying we've done it, we've actually gone ahead and shot an entire launch film. Give a shout out in case you guys have seen our Redmi 13C launch film, which was shot entirely on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus. If you have seen it, give a cheer, because this is incredibly amazing for any smartphone to capture straight out of the camera. I have a video as well to showcase how we have done it, including some amazing behind-the-scenes footage that no one has seen yet. So take a look, please. So absolutely wonderful imaging and videography capabilities. And one of the things that often falters when you use a phone on a drone is the stability, especially when you have an FPV drone or a custom drone which zips around at blazing fast speeds. With our OIS plus EIS system, we are getting incredibly stable footage, and thanks to our true 200 megapixel sensor, Samsung ISOCELL HP3, we are actually getting great quality and detailed photos as well. Now, made that with an f1.65 aperture, and you get incredible looking output anytime, anywhere. And we have also carried forward our ALD coating that we introduced last year with the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus, and that's one of the reasons why, if you look at all those comparison scenarios, we were still winning with the best-in-class output. We also have a feature that we love that you guys should also try, the lossless 4x in-sensor zoom. So you can go from 1x to 2x to 4x without actually any drop in terms of detailing itself. We also have wonderful macro and ultra-wide capabilities and new filters as well as watermarks to help elevate your entire social media game by telling your story in more creative ways. That's it for me. Over to you, Anuj.
All right. Thanks, Sandeep. if you guys remember, ALD coating actually is unique to the Note series. The Note 12 Pro Plus was the first one to bring that in. And if, for a refresher, it's called atomic layer deposition. Ensures that your lenses are super smooth so that you have minimal flare. So whenever you're shooting against a light source, you start seeing those flares, right? You would have seen that in some of your 1.6 lakh phones, but the Note does not do that. So moving on to the next aspect of it, which is how do we balance all of this with the right amount of performance? And from a performance perspective, we actually had the most powerful Redmi Note ever, right? And this is happening because of a brand new chip. So this is the first device to have the Mediatek Dimensity 7200 Ultra. Now, it's a powerful chip, yes. It does more than 800,000 on Antutu, yes. But the more important aspect was, is it really power efficient? Is it really thermal efficient? And that was super important to have. So this chip actually is based on a flagship process. You've got TSMC 4 nanometer process, which is something that you only see on the highest of end chips. And along with that, obviously, you've also got a octa-core. So you've got 2 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores. The performance cores are also powerful with the Cortex-715. From a GPU perspective, it's a leap of 80% over the last year, which basically means gaming is obviously not really a problem. We spoke about how the ISP is a custom one in a way that it supports true 200 megapixels. So the Imagic 765 comes in here. And to go with this chip, what we've also done is given an incredible combo of both RAM and ROM. Now, from a storage perspective, we are moving to a UFS 3.1. Right? So it's a super fast storage, but here's one more thing. There is no 64 GB on this. We also will not have a 128 GB on this. We will actually be starting with 256 only, because that's what the Pro Plus should be. So 256 GB of starting storage, right, that's a hint for later, along with DDR5 RAM, which is also going to be a minimum of 8. So there is no 6, there is no 4. So we start off there. And of course, you've got support for dual 5G, because we all need it, and Wi-Fi 6. So a very capable chip, a very efficient chip. When you combine the efficiency of this with the incredible 120-watt hypercharging, it's unmatched. So the fastest charging solution in the segment charges your phone in less than 20 minutes. And there have been a couple of other brands who've tried to do this, tried to match that speed, but what they end up doing is actually reducing their battery size, right? Kam battery hogi, jaldi bhar jayegi. We didn't do that. So obviously the Note has to have the best battery possible. So this one features a 5,000 mAh battery. So it charges really quickly and lasts really long, so that you are further away from the wall socket and you're free to do whatever you want. Now there's one more thing. When it comes to specs, that we didn't really want to have anything to talk about in the past. We've not really cared too much about it, but we realized that a lot of our fans were asking for this. So again, for the very first time on the Redmi Note series, we are also introducing a brand new feature, which is called NFC. So with just a tap, now you can pay for coffee, now you can pay for your groceries. Basically, you can easily spend more money than you wanted to. So that is the Note 13 Pro Plus. Of course, you've got the all-new Fusion design. You've got an incredible display, a 1.5K display, which is a curved AMOLED at 120 Hertz. It is a strong display thanks to the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. First in its class. You've also got IP68. You saw some of those cool things that we could do with it. You've got an in-display fingerprint sensor. Of course, you've got Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. That has to be a given with our Notes. You've got a true 200 megapixel camera. You've got 120-watt hypercharge. And the charger actually it comes in the box. So that's one thing that we didn't take away. You've got the all-new Mediatek Dimensity 7200 Ultra and the all-new NFC as well. So what has really changed in the last 364 days? Well, we launched the Note 12 Pro last year. And compared to that, when you look at the Note 13 Pro, you've got a new display. It's curved. You've moved the sensor under the display. You've got IP68 rating. You've gone from Gorilla Glass 5 to Victus. You've gone to a 4-nanometer process. You've gone to a HP3 sensor, giving you true 200 megapixel output. You've added NFC. We've moved from DDR4X to DDR5. We've moved from UFS 2.2 to UFS 3.1. And we've still retained 120-watt hypercharge. So if you were to ask me to sum it up in one word, what exactly has changed when it comes to 12 Pro Plus to 13 Pro Plus, that one word would probably be everything. So that's where the Note 13 Pro Plus is. And there's one more thing for the 13 Pro Plus. Now this is something that we've been talking for a long time with our fans. Every single year, our fans actually wanted us to do a special edition of the Note 13 Pro Plus. They wanted something cool, something that they could get, and that'll be a collectible. That'll give them that memory for years to have, and also be limited so that you feel special. So we are going to introduce, for the very first time in the history of Xiaomi India, a special edition of the Note 13 Pro Plus. So we've got a cool video playing, and after that video, I'm going to hand this over to Abby. Take a look.
World Champions Edition coming soon. Hello, India! Happy 2024, and I'm super excited to be with all of you today. This is the Super Note launch. This is Xiaomi India's first launch of 2024. Now I'm super excited. I hope all of you are as well. You've seen the all-new Pro Plus. Now, why don't we talk about the Pro? Join me in unveiling the Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G. Now, we've gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of you, from our fans, from our partners, that they wanted to bring that Pro Plus experience to the Pro. And we did just that. The Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G is the super-powered Pro. We bring the Pro Plus experience now to the Pro. Let's first start with a super-powered design. Now here we have the coral purple. Now we've taken inspiration from the Pro Plus, and we've used that same quad-tone color block design, which has been a personal favorite so far. I'm more into glass back, not so much into vegan leather, so I think this is the perfect one for me. Next, we have the Arctic White. As you look closer, you'll notice that it has this beautiful marble pattern effect. We use nano photolithography in order to get this beautiful pattern. And for those of you who want the simplistic appeal, we also have the Midnight Black. So there you have the beautiful colors of the Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G. We have the Midnight Black, Coral Purple, and the Arctic White. Moving on to the Pro super-powered camera. Like I mentioned, Pro Plus camera experience is now on the Pro. Now let me call on Sandeep to share his thoughts on the Pro Plus experience on the Pro. Sandeep? First off though, let me start with the hardware side of things. The Pro Plus and the Pro sports that same 200 MP ISOCELL HP3 sensor plus OIS. And it also has a huge aperture at f1.65, which gives you low light, better low light. So now, Sandeep, could you share with us how was it using the Pro Plus experience on the Pro?
Sure, thanks, Abby. I think when Abby's talking about the Pro Plus experience on the Pro, she spoke about the hardware, but we are also going to take a look at how the output is, because we're not just giving Pro-level hardware, but we're ensuring that the Pro goes to Pro Plus levels in terms of the final output itself. And here's a look at some of the amazing images we were able to capture throughout our journey across the length and breadth of India. Absolutely wonderful looking images, straight out of the camera, and coupled with the various software features that we have, you also have long exposure modes, portrait modes, etc., giving great quality output. But one thing that we didn't already talk about on the Pro Plus is low light. And the reason for that is that we are so confident of the low light, even on the Pro, that we wanted to show it to you here. So take a look at these amazing images, shot on the Redmi Note 13 Pro, straight out of the camera, absolutely clean looking images. There's no color noise whatsoever. And even for a mirrorless or DSLR camera, this would have been a hard task to achieve. But thanks to our amazing ISP, thanks to the large sensor and large aperture that we have here, we're getting incredible looking output such as this. Now, we also briefly spoke about lossless zoom in the past. And now here we have the same for the Redmi Note 13 Pro as well. So in fact, this is a 4x image, this is a 2x image, and this is the actual image that we shot. It was over 100 feet in the air from a suspended bridge, and that's how much detail the Redmi Note 13 Pro can capture. It's absolutely wonderful. Now, like I mentioned, portraits is something that we really want to, want folks to experience, and we have tuned this really, really well to capture the essence of human skin tones, both from the rear-facing camera as well as the front-facing camera, and you get incredible looking output, such as this straight out of the camera phone itself. Now, we also have a bunch of different filters, watermarks that are new on the Redmi Note 13 series that all of you should try out, and this will truly enhance your social media game. We have a quick video to showcase how fun it is to use the Note 13 Pro as your primary on a fun shoot day.
Thanks, Sandeep. Now that's the awesome camera features on the Pro. You get a 200 MP plus OIS, and you also have like lossless 4x in-sensor zoom, plus the other new filters that Sandeep has shared a while ago. Now on to super powered display. With the previous generation on the Redmi Note 12 Pro, we've given you 120 Hz Pro AMOLED display in FHD+. Now this time, we are giving you 120 Hz Pro AMOLED in 1.5K. Now that gives you better viewing experience, better viewing clarity, and it's the same display as the Pro Plus. And we did not stop there. Pro also gets that same Corning Gorilla Glass Victus protection. But we still did not stop there. You'd also be getting a fast and reliable in-screen fingerprint sensor. That way, you're getting the Pro Plus experience, again, on the Pro. Now, here's a quick summary on the Redmi Note 13 Pro's display. Now, moving on to day-to-day experience. It's powered by the Snapdragon 7S Gen 2. It uses a flagship 4-nanometer process technology, balancing fast performance with power efficiency. And Redmi Note 13 Pro is also the first device to be able to be powered by this processor. Now you'll notice that because this is such a great phone, you'll be using your phone a lot more. And we've also paired it with a huge 5,000 mAh battery and a 67-watt turbocharging. And of course, 67-watt charger is also included in box. Thank you. Now, Redmi Note 13 Pro has really gone a long way. When we compare it with the previous generation, it has great leaps forward. You've seen that from the process technology to the 1.5K display, you have in-display fingerprint sensor protected by the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, 200 MP ISOCELL HP3 sensor, and an IP54 rating. So here's the final look at the Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G. You get the Pro Plus experience now on the Pro. Now, our Super Note would not be complete without the classic Super Note. Now, today we also bring you the Redmi Note 13 5G. Redmi Note 13 5G is the immersive Super Note. It's a complete upgrade from Redmi Note 12. We brought you the all-new design, bringing the Pro design to the classic Note for the very first time. Let's start with the all-new Pro. So we have three awesome colors. You have the Stealth Black, the Arctic White, and the exclusively made for India Prism Gold. Here, let me show you. Isn't it gorgeous? This is the made for India Prism Gold. The immersive Super Note has also sported super thin bezels, but how thin is it really? Here's a quick question. Which do you think is the Redmi Note 13 5G? B? B? Actually, it's none of these. It's this. The bezels are even comparable to the flagship phones out there. Now, the bottom bezels have been reduced by up to 57% compared to the previous generation, so you're getting up to 93.3 screen-to-body ratio. Now, this is extremely phenomenal. Now, last year as well, Redmi Note 12 was our thinnest Note ever at 7.9 millimeters and 188 grams. But this year, we brought it up a notch. This year, we brought you our slimmest Note yet at just 7.6 millimeters slim. And we've also paired it with a super light frame at just 173.5 grams. It's around 15 grams lighter than the previous generation. And even with a slimmer body, we've still maintained to fit in a 5,000 mAh battery. Plus, it also supports 33-watt fast charging. Now, to talk about the camera section, let me call on Sandeep.
Thank you, Abhi. So we've seen the Pro go to Pro Plus levels, and similarly now the classic Note is becoming a Pro as well. With this, what we're doing is starting with the primary camera. We're going from a 48 megapixel sensor all the way up to a 108 megapixel sensor for the first time on a classic Note device. We are also having some of the other Pro features, such as in-sensor zoom, which is completely lossless, going all the way up to 3x on our classic Note, the Redmi Note 13. Now, what this gives in terms of output is amazing images such as these. This is taken on the 108 megapixel camera, crazy amount of detail resolved. You have great dynamic range and good colors. But even from the ultra-wide angle camera, you get incredible moments and memories such as this. Absolutely wonderful in terms of the dynamic range, and anyone would actually think this was taken with the primary camera and not the ultra-wide. We also have a very capable macro camera, giving you interesting details such as this and a new perspective for all your stories. And the same portrait goodness is also carried forward with both the rear camera and the front-facing camera. Now, like we did on the Pro Plus, we also wanted to compare and benchmark ourselves with some of the competition and the devices out there. So we went again to a similar area in Bangalore, and this is how the Nord CE3 Lite captured the scenario, right? It was actually pretty good. But if you look at some of the other options in the segment, the F34 5G, this actually did not capture it any well at all. If you look at the top portion, there's a lot of color noise, there's a lot of light bleeding happening, and it results in a very poor looking image. In fact, if you look at the next image, this is actually much brighter. So at first glance, you'll think, oh, this is a great image. But in fact, it's not, because when you look at the details, there's a lot of watercolor effect happening. It's overly bright, and in fact, it's rendering the entire scene absolutely incorrectly. The Redmi Note 5G actually renders it pretty well, and I would say is the best out of the lot in terms of accuracy and in terms of technicality as well. Now, we also had one more scene where we wanted to showcase one similarity that was there across all the other competition devices, which was the fact that the highlights are all blown out. You wouldn't even know that there were clouds in the sky because of that blotchy portion between the trees, which is completely white in all these, but in ours you can actually see the clouds. And the display here is not doing it justice, but it's an absolutely wonderful image. But there's a slight twist to this story. There's a slight surprise that I want to reveal. The phone that you see on your far right, that is not the Note 13 5G. That is the Note 12 5G. So one phone that we launched that over a year ago is still beating all the competition out there. And here is how good the Note 13 image is. So it is way better than everything else out there. So a quick look again. While the Note 12, which is a year old, is still beating all the latest competition, the Note 13 5G takes it even a step higher than the already best Note 12 5G. And this also holds true for the scenario that we had earlier. To summarize, the Redmi Note 13 5G is an incredible device. This has a very high screen-to-body ratio of 93.3%. Very, very slim bezels, 120 Hz refresh rate. It also has the slimmest note ever. This is the slimmest note that we have ever done. It's ultra lightweight. It comes in 3 beautiful colors: prism gold, arctic white, and black as well. We have our fan favorite features. You guys love the headphone jack as well as the IR blast, and we've retained that. We have a very powerful Mediatek Dimensity 6080 chipset on this with up to 12 GB of RAM. And overall, this is a stunning package where the classic itself goes all the way pro. Now, I'd like to invite back on stage President of Xiaomi India to take you through when and where and how you can buy these amazing, wonderful devices. Over to you, Murli.
All right. 3 fantastic super notes. All the details, except for that one critical thing on pricing and availability revealed. But before that, I know a lot of you have this question in your mind. Spoken quite a bit about HyperOS. You must be wondering, when is HyperOS coming to these devices? Well, let me clear the air. All the 3 super notes that we have announced today are HyperOS ready, and the updates will be rolling out soon. Thank you. All right. Let's start with the showcase feature for this afternoon, the stunning Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G with the all-new Fusion design, the vegan leather finish, flagship-grade IP68 protection, that gorgeous curved display, 1.5K resolution, Corning Gorilla Glass Victus protection, 200 megapixel, true 200 megapixel, 120-watt hypercharge. This is clearly an absolute upgrade. The Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G comes in 3 variants. The 8GB, 256GB variant of the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G will retail at a net effective price of rupees 29,999. Thank you. And there are 2 other variants. The 12GB, 256GB variant for 31,999, and For the first time ever on a Redmi Note, we're taking the ROM right up to 512 GB, the 12 GB, 512 GB variant of the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G for only rupees 33,999. And I'd like to call out here that these are net effective prices, net of a 2,000 rupee bank discount, courtesy ICICI Bank, or an exchange bonus of rupees 2,000. The Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G will be available on the 10th of January at 12 noon on mi.com, Mi Home, Flipkart, and all Xiaomi retail outlets. So that was the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G. Now moving on to the Pro, which has got a lot more plussy, as we say, comes with the same 1.5K flagship quality display and super thin bezels with that same Corning Gorilla Glass Victus protection. It is the first ever smartphone to be powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 and also features the same 200 megapixel camera as the elder sibling, the Pro Plus. The Redmi Note 13 Pro 5G also comes in 3 variants. The 8GB, 128GB variant will retail at a net effective price of rupees 23,999. And it has 2 other variants. The 8GB, 256GB variant for 25,999 and the 12GB, 256GB variant for 27,999. Once again, I'd like to call out that these are the net effective prices, net of a 2,000 rupee bank discount or 2,000 rupee exchange bonus. The first sale is on the 10th of Jan, available on mi.com, Mi Homes, Flipkart, and all Xiaomi retail outlets. Coming to the classic Note, the Redmi Note 13 5G, a massive upgrade over its predecessor with a whopping huge immersive display, 93.3% segment best screen to body ratio, a 108 megapixel AI triple camera, the slimmest Redmi Note ever with a thickness of just 7.6 millimeters. The Redmi Note 13 5G is clearly the best classic Note ever. And it comes in 3 variants. The 6GB, 128GB variant of the classic Note, the Redmi Note 13 5G, will retail for a net effective price of rupees 16,999. And 2 other variants, the 8GB, 256GB variant for 18,999 and the 12GB, 256GB variant for rupees 20,999. Once again, these are net effective prices, net of a bank discount of rupees 1,000 or an exchange bonus of rupees 1,000. The Redmi Note 13 5G also has Xiaomi Easy Finance available, powered by Axio. Now, Xiaomi Easy Finance is a financing solution that's designed to be inclusive. It's a financing solution that's available to everybody. A zero-cost EMI solution with 100% digital processing with super fast approval rates in less than 10 minutes. No more hassle of paperwork and waiting for the approval for your device to be financed. The Xiaomi Easy Finance powered by Axio is available on the Redmi Note 13 5G. But that's not all. We know there are hundreds and thousands and millions of people out there who use an existing Xiaomi or Redmi phone and you'd like to trade in your phone to get something better. All the super notes that we have launched today, if you are an existing Xiaomi or Redmi customer and you exchange your existing Xiaomi or Redmi phone, you get an additional rupees 500. This is over and above the existing exchange offer. You get an additional 500 rupees Xiaomi loyalty bonus. This is our way of expressing our gratitude for your faith, love, support, and gratitude. Thank you very much for that. But we're not done yet. Thanks to our partners, Jio, every time you recharge a prepaid plan of rupees 299 or above, you get 10 GB vouchers that you can use for all your streaming and gaming delight. That is thanks to our partners, Reliance Jio. But the cup of joy is still not empty. There is more to share. We also have a special smartphone times AIoT offer. Now, whenever you buy any of